This whole sequence is shot handheld with the IBIS turned on in Sony A6700 as well as vibration control on the Tamron 17-70 in order to test this duo's video capabilities as well as to see if there are any issues with the stabilization as many claim. Later in the video I turn on also the active stabilization and replace the Tamron with Sony's 24-105 GOSS lens to compare and see if it behaves in the same way regarding the stabilization. All of the footage you see is 4K 24 frames per second S-Log3 XAVC HS 4K at 100 megabits 422 10-bit and filmed in different focal lengths. It was a bit windy, and especially when zoomed in all the way to 70mm, which is 105mm full frame equivalent, you obviously see the movement as well as both the IBIS and VC is doing its thing. The myth goes that third-party manufacturers are not the best combo when it comes to stabilization. So what do you think? Does the Tamron's vibration control somehow makes the footage unusable? Before we compare it to Sony's native lens, I can definitely see what people complain about. Do you see these micro jerks? That's it. First, I would definitely avoid panning, even at 17mm, because the movement does get a bit jerky. I think the camera is just, simply confused. Is it supposed to be a movement or not? Interestingly, a faster pan actually is rather smooth. Walking, certainly would not recommend unless it's a ninja walk. Close-ups, doable in my opinion. Close-ups with a slight body swing for that extra movement, perhaps not the best. I'm actually quite surprised how well it performs even at the telephoto end when you don't do any movement. Sure, you see some harsh movement once in a while, but at 17mm things do look better. However, there are some moments where you can find a sudden shift. If I would have one suggestion, I would say always use active stabilization. This is with it on. Of course, it crops in the image a little bit, but I feel like it's pretty much, getting rid of all those sudden movements. And here's a side-by-side comparison of the same focal length at 70mm. Tamron's on the left while you have the Sony's native 24-105mm OSS stabilized lens on the right. IBIS on A6700 is on, but it's not the active one. Do they behave the same? Is the myth true? Based on these and all the previous examples, I can say two things. One, regarding the video quality as well as autofocus and constant f2.8, I think it's a fantastic combo. This is my do-it-all travel lens and honestly I really like it, even despite its bulkier size. I don't think the Sony's native lens gives you an enormous benefit with regards to stabilization. In fact, I think they look kinda the same. And second thing, when zooming in all the way to telephoto end, no matter if it's a Sony's or third-party stabilized lens, some funky things will happen. A6700 and IBIS are not perfect. If you do get weirder footage than I got, a couple of things you can do. First of all, play around with the settings, see if things are better if your IBIS is off or when using or not using the active stabilization. Test again Sony's lens, and if you just generally don't like how all of these systems work, perhaps you need to either get a gimbal or a tripod or both, or not zoom in so much. I hope this test was useful. Leave a comment down below on what's your experience, and guys, just go out and shoot and have fun and keep on creating. Peace out, guys. Ciao.